Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm bringing you guys something a bit different. Today we're gonna do a matchup analysis for the tournament OLS online league series that I entered, and I'm gonna bring the exact same lineup um, to the Mastering Retire tournament, which should be going on at 7 a.m. HST. So like a couple hours. I don't know, not a couple hours. But yeah, the day this video goes up, will be the tournament. It's single elimination, so depending on how my bracket goes, I might still be in. Who knows? But yeah, let's go through the lineup, the ideas of the lineup, and yeah, we're gonna go through my first match, and then probably make this a 5-part because I participated in 5 matches. I went 3-2, and you can still make it in um, to top cut if you lose two, but I'm gonna play in Mastering Terra instead. So yeah, that's what I decided. Let's get into it. So firstly, these 3 decks are my lineup, and I was very pleased, but Pink City kind of underperformed. So I changed one card that I think was the biggest factor, um, which was I ran Petty Officer instead of Mirai Warden because I thought the flexibility for the keg would be good, but it turned out it like didn't pay off. So yeah, let's go through the decks. So this is targeting Ezreal Kennen. All 3 of these decks also do well into Plunder, which are like these 2 decks are super popular. And the idea of my ban was to ban the Rally decks or ban Pantheon. So yeah, that's the idea of the deck of the lineup. And yeah, so firstly we have Pink City. This does well into Kennen because it has a lot of ways to kill the Kennens, right? So we have 2 Poison Darts here. Um, the main, like most popular version, it runs Parlay. I don't know how to spell Parlay. It runs this. I think Poison Dart's just better because like it can get cancelled if they recall. I mean it can, but like you still get the 3 puff caps, and you can also just use it to go face and get 3 puff caps as well. So yeah, decided on keeping the Poison Dart around, and it worked pretty well. The other thing was I ran triple Petty Officer, but I changed those for tomorrow to be Mirai Wardens. Um, I'm also running 2 Harpoon and 2 Dreadway. Harpoon does nothing in the Kennen matchup, so I was debating to change it, but I figured in the Plunder matchup, it's like good, because you can kill Gangplanks with it, and like if you can kill their Gangplank and they don't have Harpoon to answer yours, it's kind of a big deal. Um, and Dreadway, I don't know, I'm still not sold. It did win me a game, but 2 of might be too much. I might cut it down to 1 of. Um, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, this is my first deck. We're not gonna go too into detail for all the decks because yeah, this isn't a deck guide. It's just like I run down the lineup, right? So yeah, this is very well into Kennen. Red card. When this is TF is very good into Kinku because if they don't have Mana Bank, you can TF on 4, and you could even like yeah. So you red card their Kennens, and if they don't have an answer, then and you could even like keep Pokestick mana up, or make it rain mana, and yeah, if they recall, then they just lose their cannon. So very nice. Next we have Thralls. Um, this deck I wasn't sold on beating Canazriel, but if you play it in a certain way, I think it is like favored. And we all know this beats Plunder. If you played before this expansion, like this has a very good matchup with the Plunder, right? So firstly, we have Thralls, right? Um, this means that Kennen has no targets to mark, so Ezreal's not getting leveled up. So you just play Thralls, maybe a Lissandra if you have to, and you never give them like targets to like do stuff with. And then eventually like Talia, Promising Future, your Thralls, and then you pop off. Beware they do have Homecoming, which I did play into because it's kind of recall landmark, so it's kind of dangerous. Um, but yeah, that's one thing I have to watch out for. But the Homecoming, my landmark, a promising future, I believe, and there was one match where it was at 2 rounds, but I still won. So like I just replayed the Thrall and I was like, okay, whatever, you know. Yeah, this deck just kills. Also, we have so many ways to remove cannon. Ravine, meaning they have to recall like instantly, and Avalanche, like they don't have enough recalls, you know. A shard. Beware. Also, one thing about targeting cannon is they can still high roll, right? But that's the risk you gotta take. We have two Archer, which is not like commonly run, but I decided to run it, and instead of this card, Succumb, I just think it's better. 2 mana. You can also run Flash Freeze, but we have 3 sisters, so I didn't think I needed like the fast speed, you know. Yeah, 3 sisters and Ice Shard are my fast speed punishers, and yeah, Clock Hand for finisher, of course, top end necessary in the deck. And I'm convinced that um preser um preservationists and Jacklorn are like too slow, like, or they're like baits in this matchup, or like in this meta. So yeah, next, this is the best deck, by far. This deck either got banned or won every match. It has not lost, and for good reason. Like even when I never like drew 2 drops and stuff, I still won. Um, I believe I could be wrong, but I mean you'll see all the matches. I'll upload all the matches. So yeah. The I never drew Sony Suppressor, but this even like if you draw Sony Suppressor, this is an instant win into Canana Zero. But you don't need it. Like Yordle Explorer is a blowout. Like this deck just absolutely demolishes Canada Zero. Like yeah, it's really good. So yeah, this is my lineup. Um yeah, I'm bringing it to Mastering Terra tournament, which of course 7 a.m. 8 Hawaii Standard Time. Today, check it out. This is my lineup. I'm going to like stream all the matches with 5 minute delay, but you know, I could like last time I entered a Master Guitar tournament, fought Akata round 1, and it was close, but I ended up losing. So yeah, that was unfortunate. So you know, it might just be a very short stream. Anyways, let's get into the match analysis. Okay, so I was listening to copyrighted music during the stream, so we're just gonna play it muted. Um, hope that's okay. I'll try to like play background noise like in future videos maybe. But yeah. So this is my first opponent. Uh, I knew I didn't want to ban Pink City because I was pretty confident. I had the Dreadways as well in my deck, so I thought my decks did like well into Pink City. So I was debating on banning Deep or getting Poppy, Vandal Tree, and I was unsure which one to ban honestly. Um, I s- so I ended up banning Vandal Tree. I still think it's correct because I'm not sure like of the matchups, but I don't think Deep is like that strong. And yeah, I didn't play the Kenny version of Battle against the Kenny version of Battle Tree too often. So yeah, it's just I'm more comfortable playing against Deep with the odds list and stuff. So yeah, that's what I ended up deciding on. All right, this Mulligan. I think this is pretty straightforward. You kick everything except Teemo, right? You want units. You want to flood the board, storm the board. Debatably, you could keep Sharp Sight, but I don't think it's worth it. So yeah, I do the correct Mulligan here, I believe. Yeah, yep. And this hand is, as you can see, not great. We have like a lot of our 4 drops. Um, so yeah, I would also play the Teemo here. You could play Tracker, but if he plays Dredgers, then you kind of get blown out. So yeah, that was probably correct. Okay, so he Dredgers, turn 2, top decks it. Yeah, Tracker, not much needs to be done. I'm hoping to top deck like a playable card. Not really the best. Yeah, it's kind of laggy, but I have it at 1.5 speed, so. Okay, so he plays the Slaughter Dogs, which is like a pretty slow card. So I'm like, oh, I'm okay with this. Burning 1 mana, I kind of have to. Yeah. When you're playing against deep, always pay attention to the tosses, because you know, like, they can't use that against you, right? So Maokai is very slow. I decided to play Yordle Captain, so I can buff the Poppy that I want to play next turn. And yeah, so it's pretty important. You always want to look out they toss. So he tosses second Jettison, Lair, Dredgers, and Deadboom. So you know, like, if they want to go deep at burst speed, they might not. They probably don't have their Jettison. You know, you're not gonna like ping on it. So you could play Yordle Captain to get greedy, but Poppy is clearly the correct play here. Um, Poppy plus Rally kind of blows this guy out, and he salvages, which I guess he was on a clunky hand, but unlucky he draws 4 shrooms. Yep, dragging the Maokai. Tracker's not gonna die. The Dredger is clearly going to chump block, and we get to rally after this. Yeah, and that's just game. Pretty straightforward first game, right? Okay, believe he FFs here. Yeah, I don't think there's much to be said about this game. Um, of course I'm not gonna comment like the opponent made misplays because I don't know his hand, right? I don't know his hand state. I don't. I never memorized his deck, but I was like I had it on the side, right? Okay, so game two. I think he goes deep again. Yeah, okay. So I'm happy about this because I don't have to play the mirror. Okay, so mulligan. Poison dart for drag dredgers maybe. You can also use it to get a turn 1 trigger, but I would mulligan all of this. Maybe keep a deckhand. Maybe keep a deckhand. I think okay. I decided to keep the poison dart because he has a 1 drop, I guess. So we can poison dart this here, or we can, yeah, I think we poison dart this. Yeah, always. Yeah, I guess the poison dart was fine to keep. I think it was correct. Okay, now we can play deckhand or corsair. Deckhand sets up for make it rain. I think I would play the deckhand here. Also more mana efficient. I am wrong about my own play. Um, yeah. Also, ah, yeah. I think playing deckhand was better there. Cause like I don't think the Corsair gets to attack most of the time. I guess my thought process was if he plays a second Dredger, I could attack and get a proc, right? But yeah, this is fine too. This is a fine line because you Dredgered after his attack or deckhand after his attack, so the keg spawns and he can't drive the keg, right? So this is pretty easy chemist because it passes action to him, and we want him to play units that we can make it rain, right? This was huge. He played Deadbloom, 2 health unit, perfect. Also, this is a Vile Feast check because I think you always Vile Feast the keg here, or like you try to, because yeah, that was pretty big. And then we full swing here. gentler. So yeah, my first round was a pretty swift 2-0, I believe. So here we can play Gangplank, or we can play Lecturing Yordle. Both plays are okay. Lecturing Yordle gets us another trigger, I think. I'm thinking about the pros and cons of both. Gangplank's technically more mana efficient, but yeah, I decided to go for leveling up Gangplank, I think. Actually, yeah, it's the same amount of mana efficiency. I don't know what his hand state was, cause that seemed like slightly winnable, but he decides to FF. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Uh, yeah, thanks for watching. Um, I'll do more of these, and yeah, see you guys in the next video. See you.